Bro, even the Pokemon are attracted to children. Yeah, it's like, it's not an allegation you would expect, you know? I mean, we had this year, what? We had Dr. Disrespect, we had Chris Tyson, and now it's Typhlosion is the latest one. You know? It's kind of crazy. The Typhlosion allegations. Typhlosion situation is crazy.
We'll do it live!
Liquid said, have you heard of the Pokemon leak? It's really interesting. A lot of unused assets were discovered if you're that type of news and drama. I'm really not, is the thing. I heard there was some kind of Coomer thing. I heard there was some kind of like B plot they had about Pokemon mating with humans. I heard that this happened. The leaked Pokemon lore is crazy. Are there any like good concise videos about it? Oh, Lessons in Meme Culture made a video. Okay, I feel like that's probably gonna be the best bang for our buck here if we're trying to get the deets on what happened, right? I need to get YouTube
Game Freak
on this account because I have ads and it's actually unusable. This basement is like, this is my goon cave, essentially. This is my anti-goon cave. This is where the magic happens. Without further ado, let's check out the Pokemon leaks, which apparently are going to be mildly interesting.
Game Freak released a press statement announcing the fact that they had been hacked by a third party, as a large chunk of their work was stolen, including tons of old concept art, game files, and scrapped lore from previous Pokemon games and anime. Worryingly, it also included personal information regarding employees, but that isn't what seems to have the internet freaking out. As it turns out, there are a ton of stories surrounding Pokemon that are extremely—
The leaks go from Zigzagoon to Typhlosion is a file? What? Wait, what? Typhlosion is a— what does that even mean? How can a Pokemon be— does it fuck like child Typhlosions? Does it race mix with the other Pokemon? Is it miscegenation if like a Pikachu has sex with like some kind of like Gardevoir? Like, is that race mixing? Or are Pokemon's like a race and they're like how do we classify that?
Dark and a little bit strange. So perhaps they were scrapped for good reason. For example, Typhlosion is having a Vaporeon moment, as it had a story written about it that saw it tricking a human girl into having a child with it.
Is that like gorilla mode? The Typhlosion is stealthing. That's really funny. What was this thing he's referencing about Vaporeon? Did Vaporeon do that? Also, isn't Pokemon made for children? Like, what is the context of these leaks? I thought Pokemon was literally made for like 10 to 12-year-olds generally, right? I mean, obviously a lot of adults like it because every adult, including myself, is like a soy idiot. But like, it's made for kids. So why would there even be this kind of plot in Pokemon? Thank you for the dono, Gabe.
Yeah.
What was that other dono? Respect from Burundi. Burundi. Tom doesn't wash his butt. Why would you say something like that? That's foul. Thanks for the 20. Yeah. I don't think the word wash belongs in the same sentence as ass. Did you do the Logan Tommy in it follow up with Vapely, even if off stream? Just curious. I did it in a video. Tom Dark. Hey Tim, sorry to hear the news. Thank you very much, some ordinary gooners. I appreciate that.
I guess Game Freak got a bit, well, freaky back in the day, but some say they took inspiration from—
They are called Game Freak. They are called Game Freak, you know? They're not called, like, Game Chud. They're not called, like, normal game, you know? Bro, even the Pokemon are attracted to children. Yeah, it's like, it's not an allegation you would expect, you know? I mean, we had this year, what? We had Dr. Disrespect, we had Chris Tyson, and now it's Typhlosion is the latest one, you know? It's kind of crazy. The Typhlosion allegations. Typhlosion situation is crazy.
From the Japanese badger, which in its yokai form is called a Mujina, and is where Typhlosion got its aesthetic inspiration. A Mujina is known for being something of a shapeshifter, so I guess it would make sense that the lore would overlap, but still, you can guess why they scrapped it. There's plenty of other strange stories floating around too, and it's not as if regular Pokemon lore doesn't get quite dark, but some of these do go a bit too far. Naturally, the stories have taken the interest of the greater internet, as fans of the franchise, as well as casual onlookers, have continued to go absolutely bonkers over all of the content that has been leaked. Apparently—
Can we find more of the content? Is there like one central place where the leaks are being compiled? The Pokemon leaks. Compilation of the recent Pokemon leaks. We got a Reddit thread. I don't see Typhlosion mentioned here. I'm gonna look up weird Pokemon leaks. That thread was from months ago anyway. Comic book resources. Are they going to leak the leaks? Or are we going to get them here? That story goes into great detail about how Typhlosion grooms a girl, then she tells her father she loves him, and then they have their child. Insane. What the fuck? Is that written out by Game Freak in these leaks? Over the years, Game Freak has created an expansive world for the Pokemon series. Game Freak. I just can't get over the name. I never really thought about it before this moment. Like, they are called Game Freak, you know? They are literally called Game Freak. Like, what would you expect? As each of the franchise's many locations adds more to the lore and includes new creatures to make the new locale feel unique. The series is marketed primarily towards children, so it does not go out of its way to create deep and intriguing moral stories, but the narratives are still entertaining and full of amazing characters. Amazing characters? I've never seen any Pokemon narrative that's been filled with amazing characters. I mean, the games are fun, but, you know, I've never seen a Pokemon movie where I was like, whoa, that's an amazing character. You know, even as a child, okay, because I'm a genius, when I was watching the Pokemon show, I was like, this is And I stopped watching it, you know? My father was like, Thomas, you watching that Pokemon again? This shit's gay. I was like, all right. When you're right, Dad. The series is marketed towards children, blah, 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 blah. However, Game Freak usually keeps its behind-the-scenes lore under wraps, not allowing the public to get their hands on previous concepts that might not have been included in the games. Unfortunately for Game Freak, it's currently going through the largest data breach that the Pokemon series has ever endured. Over 2,600 items of personal information were stolen by a third party over the weekend, with countless more game-related files. While some of them were of the normal variety and detailed upcoming projects, other files related to some of the most bizarre Pokemon lore that has ever been uncovered. Poopmax Typhlosion son or Gaiat Vaporeon daughter? Definitely Poopmax Typhlosion son, because I would forgive my son for being a gorilla motor much more than I would ever forgive my daughter for being a Gaiat, as we know. I went on a date with a guy and brought you up, and he told me that he went to the same rehab as you in Florida. Is this cap? Maybe I forgot that I went to rehab. I mean, I don't know. Who's to say? Who's to say? I've never been to rehab, but you know. You never know. Maybe I forgot. It's possible, I guess. I don't live in Florida either, so I don't know what that even means. Thomas, that Pokemon stuff is gay. Now give me pictures of Spider-Man. True. Rehab for goon addiction, bruh. Why do I say bruh? Furthermore, Game Freak had a statement regarding the leaks ready to publish as early as October 10th, but the company waited till the data was already leaked to the public to release an apology. By that point, it was too late for Game Freak to take any action against the third party and deal with the leaks properly. Furthermore, Game Freak has not released any information about the third party in question, so more leaks are likely to occur in the future. Well, unless they're just... I mean, I assume if there were leaks, they'd probably send it to the cops, right? Because, I mean, you can easily be taken to court over this. I mean, maybe the hackers are in Russia or something, but if they're not, if they're like American or something, these people could easily go to jail. I mean, it's like corporate espionage. I think men will say anything for cooch sometimes. It's devastating. Yeah, imagine lying for pussy. That'd be crazy. Oh my God, I love that movie. I love that show. Dumb bitch. Overall, this is a catastrophic mess for Game Freak, and it threatens to undermine any hype that the company could build about its upcoming projects. Only time will tell the exact amount of information that the hackers will release, but the leaks have already shown some of the most bizarre information ever revealed in the history of Pokemon lore. Tom, should I gamble my money? Yeah, put it all on black, buddy. Every single dollar you have. Put it all on black right now. Typhlosion's reputation is on thin ice. This guy does look kind of scary, in fairness. He's got this weird, like, collar. Is that supposed to be fire? He's got this weird collar around him. You know, he's got a weird, fucked up, crippled person hand that, like, goes in. Like, what is that? He's like... He's a DJ? Record scratch? What the homie just happened? For the leaks over the weekend, players found some truly bizarre lore about a popular Generation 2 creature and its relationship to the Pokemon universe. Okay, so wait, this is... If Typhlosion's Gen 2, that means it's from, like, 2001 or something, right? Or, like, 1999, like, something like that. So that means that this has been lore that they've had under wraps for 20 years. They've had this lore under wrap for literally 20 years, and it just got leaked. That is crazy, bro. That is actually nuts. Like, dude, the Typhlosion CP lore has been under wraps for 20 years. For 20 years, and it just came out. I'm surprised they even managed to keep it a secret for this long. Like, because stuff always gets out, you know, from that kind of salacious stuff, you know. Like, one employee tells someone who tells someone. I guess this is just like the perfect confirmation people need now. But you would think that something like that would like be rumored at the very least, you know. Maybe it has been. I just haven't seen it. CEB, what's up, buddy? Shut up, Brandon. Tell him to keep his head up. True. I want to catch your stream for a while. I'm a huge Hasanabe head, and like many people you shit on, but I really like your content too. I'm just not very vitriolic about people's opinions on things. Oh, well, it's interesting that you like Hassan, but you watch my stuff. Soon you'll be donating to me instead. Thanks for the 20, though. Can you put on the Brainrot Bash? What is that? Thanks for the 5, Sarah. Brainrot Bash? What is that? Hashtag Hawk2a, hashtag Riz, hashtag looksmaxing.
Freezing up a yacht late one night when a sussy imposter came quite the fright. With his pizza from Ohio, must have had Ligma. Rizzed up my shot.
All right, we get the idea. That was pretty good, dude. That was a W. It doesn't sound like me. That's not true. Not true at all. I thought that was good. Uncovered in the leaks was a story regarding the fire-type Pokemon Typhlosion and a relationship between a Pokemon and a human. Furthermore, it wasn't the wholesome type of lore that the series usually employs for its storytelling, as it was one of the most disturbing bits of lore that was leaked for the series. Most of the disturbing parts of the story are contained within the Pokédex, e.g. Net and Cubone. So this lore is even more disturbing than normal, as it is a fully fleshed out story. The disturbingly bizarre story details a girl going into the mountains one evening to find food for her family, but not being able to return to her home that evening because it's too dark. Oh, in reference to me talking about leaks, Sean says, not in Japan. Japanese people are so loyal. Instead of firing laying off people, they put them in a room and give them nothing to do until they quit. Is that true? They put them in a room and give them nothing to do until they quit? Do they get paid when they're in that room? You're telling me in Japan, instead of firing people, which is what they should be doing, they put them in a room and pay them to be in a room alone. You can just go on your phone. If that was my job, I'd just go in there. I'd pull up like Sigma edits. I'd start doing push-ups. It'd be sick. That'd be fucking awesome. The rest of the story details the story of a Typhlosion who kidnaps the girl, rudely convinces her to marry him, and then later gives birth to a half-human, half-Pokemon child before the Typhlosion abandons her and allows her to be ridiculed by the people of her hometown. Holy shit. Not only is this bit of lore absurd, but the fact that it was scrapped means that it was most likely intended for inclusion in the Generation 2 Pokemon games. This does not fall in line with Game Freak's family-friendly tradition, which makes the story even more eerie. So, it is what I'm hearing that basically, maybe for Gen 2, they were, I don't know if this is like some random one-off employee writer at Game Freak, or if they were like trying to go in some more mature direction, and then this is just like what happened. Is that seems to be what I'm gleaning from this, what I'm gleaming, the lore I'm understanding. That's so weird. So canonically, the Typhlosion has a dick then, if it's able to impregnate a girl. Do all the Pokemons have dicks? I saw that if you quit in Japan, you need to make a whole public apology. What? Talk about young Philly. I think I saw that. I mean, I don't really have any unique information about it. I guess we can look up a video. Hopefully these ideas are nothing more than a blip on the radar that the developers left in the past. I mean, they probably are, if I had to guess, unless just for every game they're considering like, should we make it a crazy, insane, mature story? Should we make it have some kind of lore about how a girl goes in the mountains and gets fucked by a Pokemon? Is that what we should be doing? You know what I mean? How do you think Pokemon are created? I don't know. Did they hatch in eggs or something? Don't they hatch? Or are they mammals? I don't even know. It's a Japanese folklore story they rejected. Is this a Japanese folklore story about some monster? Typhlosion is part of imperial Japanese culture. Hello, sheep of the herd.
It's gotten to the point where some of the leaks that are being pushed around online are real and some are not. And it's become difficult for many to cross-reference the legit stuff, but for some fans, it's as if Christmas Day has come and every tidbit is a new present. It's just fun to peruse beta versions of Pokemon and imagine what could have been, getting a rare, in-depth look at the sorts of visions the designers were cooking up back in the day. There's something magical about that older Pokemon art, especially within the limitations of sprites leading to extremely expressive characters.
Yeah, I think visually Pokemon peaked, and this is, I haven't played all the games, but to me visually those games peaked with like Black and White and Black 1 and White, or Black 2 and White 2. I think those are really nice looking games. And like Heart Gold and Soul Silver, like the end of the sprite era when they got really, really good with the sprites, it was at like the peak of the technology right before they switched over to 3D. I think that's when they visually peaked. I like the new art style. But Pokemon Black was good. Pokemon Blacked. Yeah, you never know. That might be in the plans for them. That might be in the plans for them. You don't know. Yeah, I think the first Pokemon game I played was Pokemon Pearl. And then I think at some point after that, I played either Heart Gold or Soul Silver. I think I bought it from a kid at school for like $20. And then after that point in time, or maybe before that, I played Black. I think I found Pokemon Black on like the ground or something, and it worked miraculously. But yeah, that's when they peaked to me. But I mean, it's also, product. I'm a product of my time. I did play, I don't play a lot of games, but a couple years ago when they remade Diamond and Pearl, it was like Shining Pearl or something. I think I played the Diamond remake, and I thought that one was pretty good. The art style was, I don't know. I don't really like the chibi art style that much. I still prefer the old sprite-based thing. Like, I almost think it would have been better if they just ported those games for the Switch, but it still looked good. And the music that they did for it was really good. Like the Lake theme, like remix they did was really, really nice. Yeah, DS cartridges did appear randomly back then. Dude, there was a time period, I feel like from 2009, maybe 2008 until like 2013, you would just, if you were a child, you would just like find DS cartridges like it was fucking like random item drops in the world. You would just find DS cartridges and you could just pop it in. That was it, Pokemon Black and White is worth a couple $100 now. Damn, I guess I could make a bag. I think I have that game. What was also sick about the DS is you only needed one copy of Mario Kart to have like 8 people play it with the Shy Guy. So on the bus, when I was going to school, we would have crazy like Mario Kart tournaments. It was a lot of fun. What's a bird to a plane? What's a fish to a submarine? What's a hawk to a tua?